Grading is one of the most important interactions between student and teacher. And the problem is that students therefore disproportionately look at what the grades are rather than what would be much more important for their daily learning, and that's what the feedback is. How do I get better?
I would like teachers to really think about what a grade means. What does it represent?
How can we make the grading system accurate, so it's really giving us the information that we need? How can we make it fair? How can we make them specific, so it's really giving the important information to the students and to their parents? And how can we make grading systems have a timely aspect so that the information comes to people so they can actually use it and make changes based on that?
In this course on grading, we're not just going to talk about theory. We're going to talk about very practical solutions. You know, one of the things that teachers tell me all the time is our greatest concern is time. So you'll find in this course specific ideas on how to save teachers time.
I'm going to show you just an example here of a standards-based reporting form. So we've got a biology class, and we've got elements of our standard. That would entail unwrapping the standard and saying what are the really important concepts that they're going to learn during this period of time in biology.
Feedback, when it's accurate, specific, and timely, is even more powerful than student socioeconomic characteristics. In addition to the power of feedback, we know that expectations that are clear and specific have an extraordinary impact on student learning.
So when you were sharing with your partners, did you think of any ways to involve students differently in using rubrics, developing rubrics, reflecting on their learning to make corrections? Anything you'd like to share?
Well, I already have my kids develop the writing rubrics for our writing units. We create our own, but I don't have them use it themselves. So maybe I'll have a peer use the same rubric we've created to grade their paper, then have the student go through and evaluate their own paper, and then I'd be the third and final person to go through.
Sometimes we use the use of a 0 on a 100-point scale, thinking that that's giving kids feedback on the value of work. It does exactly the opposite. It makes them hopeless.
Because if we're on a 100-point scale and we're averaging, here's that whole idea of the mathematical accuracy again. We've got the 10-point interval between 100 and 90, 10-point, 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 and then a 60-point interval.
In other words, if we have grading policies that don't encourage students to persevere and work harder, they don't persevere and work harder. If by contrast you have grading policies that reward not just performance, but work ethic, resilience, respect for teacher feedback, then you'll get those things as well.
You have to evaluate what a grade is, and for so long grades have incorporated behavior and control of the classroom. If you can remove those things and really look at a grade as being an assessment of a student's performance, then I think all the rest just kind of seems easy and makes sense.
It works out because it kind of shows that the teacher cares more about the learning than just getting it done or copying. She wants to see that you did it.
If I could think of one thing I'd like to ask you to come away with as a result of this program, it's a way to improve performance and most of all, to have grades that achieve their real promise. And that's giving feedback that's accurate and specific and fair, constructive. You'll see more students in your advanced placement classes, more students in honor classes, fewer students failing, fewer students involved in discipline and suspension problems. You'll see better attendance processes, and that makes our lives as teachers better. It'll be less frustrating for you, it'll be a happier time for your students, better engagement for your entire school.